Let's go. It's good afternoon, Dr. Siew-Fang Law. Thank you for joining us here at Yellow Shelf.
Thank you so much, Joanne, for having me.
Oh, it is my pleasure. Congratulations. You have a book that's just out.
Yes.
This book, I'm excited to talk to you because it's called The Power of Care, and you're
uh,
a co-author. So tell us all about it. What do we need to know?
Thank you so much. We literally just received the book yesterday. It is really fresh from the oven, and I'm really excited. This book is really about creating a path, a simple path that using the Japanese ideas and philosophy of a bento box to
Yes.
care to colleague and to support leaders to create a culture of care in a workplace.
And tell us about, I'd love you to share a little bit about yourself, and the journey of you writing this book about, like the background and the inspiration.
Thank you so much. Why? Well, to me, I actually one of the I would consider myself aspirational leaders whom actually has been quite a high senior level executive and also sitting on the board and involving a lot of critical decision making in terms of selecting CEOs and hiring senior executive. um, but the experience of the cultures in organizations had started to create some problematic trend where people actually really focusing on performance and outcome and less on the concept of care, which is really the large part of this book. In the context where many senior leaders have to make very difficult decisions, and a lot of this decision can almost form of ethical dilemma, where to really save the organization's finance or really to take care of the people. And some of this is just a lot of this decision making that result in so much stress, not just to the people, not just the workforce, but also the leaders themselves. So I was one of those that leaders who find the leaderships actually come to a point where I find I experience compassion fatigue after working and working harder and trying to really meet everyone's need, which
Yeah.
I now sacrifice my own need. So the journey of recovering from compassion fatigue, and then it's actually take longer. And in the journey, I really continuing, really finding out how can I get well at the same time help others to get well. So, recovering from compassion fatigue to having the courage of building a system that, to me, is a system of care, a culture of care, the power of care that help other leaders to who wanted to do good, who want to make a difference in the world, and but in working in a very highly scrutinized work environment.
Yeah. And look, I was sharing with you, and many of the listeners will know, I had a long career in human resources. So I certainly resonate with compassion,
Mm.
fatigue, and that idea of the demands on leaders versus well-being, and obviously self-care as well. Like it is a very tricky space. Do you want to tell us about your co-author and how you came to writing the book together and that journey?
Yeah, Hannes is my co-author and he's also my partner. And we actually came together with a very similar journey where he was also very senior in his leadership role in a very large company where he experienced that very interestingly, it's many senior leaders, including himself, have a lot of barriers in seeking help when they experience struggle emotionally. And I think that some part of it is gender, and then the others is cultural. So to me, I think that seeking help and also mobilizing and normalizing and fatigue and exhaustion is something that is normal. And how can we actually support each other to seek help? So Hannes and I can talk about a lot of our journey, and then we decided to put our brain and heart in writing this book. So we combine our different background. So Hannes has a safety leadership background where to help high risk organization to to build foundation of safety. A lot of this is environmental safety,
Oh,
physical safety. And while I have social psychology background, peace psychology background, where I brought in the psychosocial safety lens to in writing this, how could we support leaders and their workforce to feel safe? So it's not just actually a safe place to work in, but feeling safe to go to work.
yeah, makes sense. Certainly makes sense to me. The book is filled with lots of research, storytelling, and also resources, models and tools. That was intentional putting those in the book to make it, a really great read and a great relatable.
Absolutely. We want to make it applicable and practical, like a bento box that we can just pick it up and it's like an everyday care. That's the idea. So it's not something on academic resources that only few can access to. I just, if you don't mind, I quickly show you some of the bento box that how they look like. So this is one. I should try to put together a bookmark. So basically, we create a model where it's just like, oh, that's a little bit of that bird happening. So it's probably
There it
right.
is.
Yeah, you go.
Good visuals, like good, the visual learning is
Uh,
good. That's great.
Learning and a lot of practical tools on how can people practice and building their own bento books. Some
Yeah.
reflective questions to review the actions that they take on the day, whether that actions actually is aware, promote awareness, consciousness, and connections with one another.
Yeah. And tell us finally, if
Mm.
we're curious about this book, if we're curious for our workplace, if we're curious for ourselves, how do we connect with you? How do we connect with the book? Do you want to give us some of your socials where we can find you?
Absolutely. Thank you, Joe. So people can find me on LinkedIn. That's actually a quite easy way just to type in my name, Siew-Fang Law. I will pop out. It's not many people in this world called Siew-Fang Law. Find me is through our company website. It's called bentoboxofcare.com. And so you'll find lots of resources there and tools and tips and processes that we do and we use to help leaders to heal from compassion fatigue, self-care, and build strong team. That's relational care. And build a culture of care. That's a system and structure and processes and finally connect with our soul. And so a website that people can find resources and connect with me.
Fabulous. Well, I will put all those socials in the show notes to make it really easy for people to connect and to get curious. Good luck with the book. Good luck with the launch, the journey. I'm sure there'll be many speaking events. Thank you so much for joining us at Yellow Shelf.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Cheers.